And we have Adam Kownacki on. Adam, how are you, my man?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Good. Adam, let's talk first of all. How are you feeling? How's your family as we go ahead and see what is going on with the coronavirus? I see you have your lovely son there as well. Is everyone okay that you know of? No one's been affected by the coronavirus?
Yeah, some friends of friends got it and unfortunately passed away. So it hit us hard, hit New York hard. We were like the epicenter in New York, in the U.S. But we're staying strong. You know, I'm staying home. And hopefully we'll be able to get some vaccines and get some more testing done, and we can beat this.
Now, Adam, let's talk about how this passed. I mean, what a crazy month and a half it has been, especially for you. You know, you went ahead and had that stumble against Robert Helenius. What have you learned from that fight? I know you were very disappointed, but suffering one loss in prize fighting isn't, I mean, it happens. But how have you been, especially dealing with that loss to Robert Helenius?
It's been tough. I mean, first loss, you were ranked top 5 in all the federations, and all of a sudden you lose, especially to a huge underdog. And I mean, there was a lot going on, though, a lot of mistakes made on my part. But then Robert came with a good shot, and it was a new situation for me, being hurt and not knowing how to recoup from that. Instead of maybe taking a step backwards, trying to move around, I went back forward, trying to bang with him. And next 2 shots were really that hurt, but I was hurt a little bit, and he put me on behind. And then I got up, but he came with a lot of shots, and the referee started the fight. So it was definitely a learning experience.
Did you agree with the stoppage, Adam?
I mean, that's why we have the refs there, right, to make the decision for us. I mean, obviously not. I mean, if I lose, I want to make sure I'm on my back and I'm not able to continue. But that's why the refs are there. That's why we have federations. That's why we have commissions to look out for our best interest. I wish he let it continue because I feel like Robert was already very tired. That's why I attacked him so hard in the beginning of the round, knowing that I almost had him out of there. But it's boxing, it's heavyweight division, and one shot changes everything.
Adam, did you feel, I was at Barclays Center that night. There was a special buzz. There was an energy. It seemed to be that there was, and you were still very well loved by the public at Barclays Center. But did you feel like your star was like, man, oh man, this is different? The energy from the crowd. Everyone's here to see me, national TV. You main evented before against Areola, but it seemed to be higher profile this attempt when you went ahead and fought Helenius. Do you agree with that the energy was more?
Yeah, 100%. It was the moment that was supposed to be a star. But I'm a very big believer in God. So I feel God has a plan for all of us, and it just wasn't my time. I gotta go back to the drawing board, get better, learn on the mistakes I made, and come back stronger. Maybe it wasn't my,
Adam, have you spoken with your trainer, and have you guys discussed kind of like, okay, what adjustments you want to make and things to get better on, or like this really didn't work well in camp? I mean, like I said, I know you're a father. Have you thought about maybe going away for training camp? Some guys say being at home is a great thing. Other times guys say I need to go away for training camp. What's your thought process?
Yeah, I mean, I got very little sleep. Plus, like I said before, like I'm a people's person, so a lot of people want to deal with me. I did a lot more meet and greets, a lot more meetings with fans, and I took it seriously. I had a great camp. I sparred over 130 rounds. I was in great shape. But yeah, I mean, definitely in the future, I gotta go away for camp and just focus on boxing and make sure I get my rest. Because also my son, I got no sleep whatsoever. Like you hear him right now in the background, making some noise. He's full of energy, but that is extra motivation to come back stronger.
Have you thought about when, hopefully this is behind us, or at least we get back to somewhat normalcy when it comes to everyday life in boxing? But have you kind of outlined in your mind when you want to be back inside the ring, assuming that all of this is behind us and everyone's safe and allowed to compete once again?
Yeah, I ended I think I was the last major event in boxing before this all happened. So I want to be the first one back, to start off. And hopefully I'm the first one to get my, show everybody that what happened that night was a big mistake. And that Robert Helenius just beats me probably 9 out of 10 times. And that was one night where that happened,
I've asked this to several fighters, but do you feel like you are unjustly, or that a fight fans mentality, some of them, to write off a fighter after they lose their first time is unfair? Because just because you lose once doesn't mean it's the end of the world. We've seen so many guys come back and become world champions after losing once or twice, or even more than that.
For sure. I mean, it's boxing, though. It's tough. Like, your whole career is based on your last fight. So all you have to do is just come back stronger, look amazing my next fight. And that's what I plan on doing. I've been training, even though I have a little gym at home, so I've been in shape, staying, focused, and make sure I'll show the world that what happened that night was a mistake. It's not going to happen again.
Is it hard to get motivated and to be training and doing what you have to, knowing that you might not have a fighter, that there isn't a set date? Because we hear it several times that some guys are in the gym year-round, other guys like to take a little bit of a break and kind of, slowly get back into shape and in their rhythm. But do you feel like you need to be, a fighter, 24/7 during the course of over the next few years?
100%, especially after the last fight. I mean, I slipped up a little bit, and I got to come back stronger. And then having this little guy, so it's definitely extra motivation. But yeah, I just can't wait to be back in there. I mean, that's my goal, to come back stronger and show the world who Adam Kownacki is, and I can't wait to showcase my skills again.
Let's get your thoughts on the heavyweight division as it stands now. What is your thoughts on, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury matching up a third time? That fight, they've been talking about that is going to take place in October, potentially. Hopefully all this is behind us. But, what is your thoughts on Wilder Fury number 3?
I can't wait to see it. I mean, I think Wilder, you can't... people come back strong after a loss. Especially, I know what I'm feeling right now after I lost. So I'm feeling Deontay Wilder is feeling the same stuff, and he wants to prove the world why he's the best heavyweight. So I can't wait to see the rematch. I mean, the third fight happen, and see what will happen. Because I think Wilder is going to make a statement again, especially with his big right hand.
What about Anthony Joshua and Kubrat Pulev? That fight has been postponed. Obviously, it was supposed to take place in June, but because large crowds have not been able to been given the clearance to, congregate, that fight has been postponed. What is your thoughts on Joshua and Pulev? Pulev now being trained under the guidance of Joe Goosen, and I know that Joe is quite fond of you, but what's your take on that fight?
Should be good. I mean, was the heavyweight division, and I don't know that. And I learned that the hard way, where one punch changes everything. But it should be a good matchup, and we're going to see what will happen. But it's a lot of great fights in the heavyweight division. I mean, the heavyweight division is probably one of the most exciting divisions right now, and it's a great time to be a boxing fan.
Well, how about a matchup? Would a matchup between you, because they were talking about it, would a matchup between you and Andy Ruiz? You fought another Mexican in Chris Arreola in August of last year. Would a fight with Andy Ruiz excite you? Does that entice you? Do you think that is possible?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what I want. I want to have the best fights, make the best fights happen. So the fans can be excited. And I think me versus Chris Arreola was a very exciting fight. We broke our record numbers, and I think me versus Andy Ruiz will probably be the same. It'll be a great fight.
And, as we think about, Adam, do you want in your next fight, do you want a tune-up fight, or would a bigger fight get you? Would you go ahead and say, yeah, I want a big fight right away? Do you want a tune-up fight next, or do you want a big fight next?
I would love a rematch. I mean, I was trying to prove to the world that what happened that night was a really mistake, and that wouldn't happen again. But whatever happens, happens. I mean, I'm in good hands with Al Heyman and Keith Connolly. That's a managing, and whatever they decide, that's the route we will take. Stop.
What did they tell you after March 7th? Have they spoken to you, and what did they discuss to you in terms of moving forward with Adam Kownacki?
Yeah, I spoke with both, and just like keep my head up, stay in shape. It was just a bump in the road, and we'll come back stronger.
Would you like to fight at Barclays Center next, or do you want to go ahead and take your act elsewhere, depending on what happens?
Barclays is home, so I always love fighting there. But whatever happens, I mean, I don't mind traveling and fighting in somebody else's hometown.
And finally, Adam, we know that you have your crying baby and your proud father, but what do you want to tell all your fans and those around the world who continue to deal with the coronavirus pandemic?
To keep an eye out. What happened that night was a mistake. I still feel I'm one of the top heavyweights in the world, and I'm going to prove it in my next fight.
All right, Adam, thank you so much for your time, my man. Greatly appreciate it. Stay safe. We look forward to seeing you in the ring real soon.
Sorry about the little one crying.
No, good, my man. Thanks again, man. Stay safe. It was a pleasure.